Good noon to everyone. Today discuss about in a CPPD and a Pdpe subject unit number 8 profitability, alternative investment and replacement in a B 5th semester unit number 9. This is the same chapter. First part for introductions for a profitability, alternative investment and a replacement. Now the first introductions part એના સમ આપણે મેથડ બી જોવાની છે એ પર આપણે ઇન્ટ્રોડક્શન જોઈ લઈએ. The word profitability is used as a general term for the measure of the amount of profit that can be obtained from a given situation. Profitability therefore is a common denominator for all business activities. હવે અત્યાર સુધી તમે કોઈ બી બિઝનેસ એક્ટિવિટીમાં ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ કરશો તેમાં પ્રોફિટને પર્સન્ટેજ કેટલા છે એ ફાઇન્ડ આઉટ કરવાના રહેશે. હવે કેટલા પર્સન્ટેજ ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ લાગે છે, ટેક્સીસ કેટલો છે, ઓકે એ પ્રમાણે. Then simply the word is a profitability is used to general terms for the measurement of these amount of profit that can be obtained from a given situation. અમુક સિચ્યુએશન પર ડિપેન્ડ કરે. સિમ્પલી તમે માર્કેટમાં જુઓ અત્યારે, ઓકે, then profitability therefore is the common denominators for all business activities. Before capital is invested in a project or a enterprise, it is necessary to know how much profit can be obtained and whether or not it might be more advantageous to invest the capital in another form of enterprises. Thus the determination and analysis of profit some obtained from the investment of capital in the choice of the best investment among the various alternative or major goals and economic analysis. Okay, now there are many reasons for why capital investment are made. ઓકે, કેમ એના માટે ચૂઝ કરવામાં આવે તો સમટાઈમ્સ આપણને પર્પોઝ is merely to supply a service which cannot possibly yield an a momentary profit, such as the provisions of recreation, some facilities for free use of employees માટે હોય. Okay, the profitability for this type of venture cannot be expressed on a positive numerical basis. The design engineer, however, the usually deals with investment which are the expected to yield a tangible profit, because some profit costs are considered will which occur in the future plan, some possibilities of the inflations or deflations part, and some affecting future profit and the cost must be recognized, and the strategy for handling effect of inflation or deflation is discussed in our oral chapter unit number 11 માં જોઈશું આપણે. સમ ચાર્ટના બેસિસ પર આવશે. Now the investment may be for replacing or improving part in the existing some properties, for developing a completely new enterprises, or for the other purposes when some profit is expected from the outlay of the capital investment. Okay, for some cases of this sort it is extremely important to make careful analysis of the capital utilizations. Now the profitability standard. Now some discussion part for how to profit in a standard basis પર હોવામાં આવશે એ બાબત આપણે ડિસ્કસ કરીશું ડિટેલમાં. The how to profitability investment for some rate of return method જોઈશું આપણે ડિટેલમાં કઈ કઈ આવશે. Now the discussion part for a profitability standard processes. In the some process making an investment, some decision the profit anticipated from the investment part some fund should be considered in terms of a minimum profitability standard for a question mark. The how to profit this profitability standard basis per share, and which can normally be expressed on a direct numerical basis, must be weighed against the overall judgment evolution for the project in a making the final decision as to whether or not the project should be undertaken part. And the judgment evolution must be based on the recognitions that a quantified profitability standard can serve only as a guide तरीके, and thus must be recognized that the profit evolution is based on a prediction part of a future result, so that assumptions are necessarily included the many intangible factors such as future changes in demand or prices, a possibility of a operational failure or premature obstacles cannot be quantized. It is in areas of this type the judgment becomes critical in a making of the final investment decision. Okay. Now the primary factor in the judgment some decision part is a consideration of some possibilities alternative investment issue. ઓકે એના બાબત આપણે એક એક્ઝામ્પલ જોઈએ સિમ્પલ કે ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ આપણે કઈ રીતે કરવાનું છે. તો ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ alternating investment to continuing some operations of an existing plan may be the replacement it with a more efficient some plant, and to discontinue the operation entirely or make modifications in the existing plan in reaching the final decision. The alternative should be considered two at a time on a mutually exclusive basis. An obvious set of alternative involves either making the capital investment in a project or investing the capital in a safe venture for which here is essentially no risk and granted return. In other words, the second alternative involves the company decision as the cost of capital. Okay, now this is a discussion of the cost of capital. સિમ્પલ આપણે એ જ જોવાનું છે કે આપણે કેશ ફ્લો ડાયાગ્રામ જોઈ ગયા હતા, સ્ટેક હોલ્ડર પાસે આપણે કેટલું પરચેસ કરી શકીએ છીએ, જેને આપણે ડિપ્રિસિએશનમાં જોયું કે એનો આપણે કેટલો કોસ્ટ થાય છે, અલગ અલગ મેથડ જોઈ, એના એક્ઝામ્પલ બી જોઈએ આપણે. ઓકે, ઇમ્પોર્ટન્સ છે સિમ્પલી આ માર્કેટિંગ માટે મેનેજમેન્ટ માટેનો સબ્જેક્ટ છે. પ્રોજેક્ટ પ્લાન ડિઝાઇન માટે તમે એના માટે યુઝ કરી શકો, કઈ રીતે એનું માર્કેટિંગ કરવું. ઓકે, કોઈ બી તમે ઇન્સ્ટોલેશન કરવાનું કઈ રીતે કરવું તે જોઈ શકો. આપણે ફિક્સ કેપિટલ ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ, ટોટલ કેપિટલ ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ અને વર્કિંગ કેપિટલ ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ ત્રણ વસ્તુ ડિટેલમાં જોઈ ગયા છે ઓલરેડી. This is the method for including the cost of capital in economics analysis have been discussed in this chapter, and although the management and the stockholders, okay, this is a cash flow diagram ના બેસિસ પર આપણે આ જોઈ ગયા હતા. Of each company must be established the company's characteristics cost of capital. The simplest approach is to assume that investment of capital is made at a hypothetical cost or rate of return equivalent to the total profit or rate of return over the full expected life of the particular project. This method has the advantages of putting the profitability analysis of all alternative investment on an equal basis, thereby permitting a clear comparisons of risk factor. This method is particularly useful for preliminary estimated, but any may be needed to the refund the further to take care of the income taxes effect for a final evaluation part. Okay, now simply basis for a evaluating project profitability part જોઈએ આપણે. આ એક્ઝામ્પલનો ડેટા લખી લો તમે પહેલાં તો કે ટોટલ પ્રોફિટના બેઝિસ પર જે છે એ simply total profit alone cannot be used as the deciding profitability factor in determining if an investment should be made by the profit goal of a company is to maximize income above the cost of the capital which must be invested to generate the income. If the goal were then merely to maximize profit to any invested would be accepted in this example. Okay, so first of all the આ ડેટા તમે ખાસ લખી લો અહીંયાથી અહીંયા સુધી. આ જે એક્ઝામ્પલ છે એને આપણે ડિટેલમાં ડિસ્કસ કરીશું, સોલ્વ બી કરીશું. નાવ ધી સમ ડોલર્સ ફોર પરચેસ એની ઇક્વિપમેન્ટ. ઓકે, તો આ જે પ્રોફિટ આપ્યું છે આપણને એ જોઈએ. સપોઝ દેટ ટુ ઇક્વલી સાઉન્ડ છે ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ કેન બી મેડ there is required 1 lakh of the capital and will be ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ કર્યું છે અને yield પ્રોફિટ કરી છે આપણને 10,000 per year and the second require 1 million of capital cost and the will yield 25,000 per year. The second investment gives a greater yearly profit than the first, but the annual rate of return the second investment is only 25,000 per 1 lakh multiplied 100 is equal to 2.5% આપણને એટલું મળે ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ. Okay, while the annual rate of return is 1 lakh, investment 10% because reliable bonds and other conservative investment will yield annual return rate of return in the range of the 6 to 9%. The 1 million investment in this example would not be very attractive. However, the 10% return on the capital in example capital would make this investment the worthy of carefully consideration. Thus, for this example, the rate of return rather than the total amount of profit is important profitability factors in determining if the investment should be made. The basic aim of the profitability analysis is to give a measure of the attractiveness of the some project to consider the existed some purposes. Okay, એક્ઝામ્પલ તમારે ખાસ રાખવાનું છે એ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્સ છે. Okay, and the standard references for base case in a choose if the purpose and the total profit per year and annual rate of return may be satisfactory. On the other hand, the purpose is to it's to permit comparison of several different is project in which capital might to be invested. The method of analysis should be such that all cases are on the same basis so that direct comparison can be made among these appropriate alternative investment. હવે આ જે છે આપણે નેક્સ્ટ લેક્ચરમાં જોઈશું મેથેમેટિકલ મેથડ ફોર પ્રોફિટેબિલિટી ઇવોલ્યુશન પાર્ટ. ઓકે, Most of our discussion part is complete. Profitability standard and other 3 point. Investment of making an investment of decision. The profit anticipated from the investment fund should be considered in terms of the minimum profitability. Okay, so thank you so much. આપણે મેથડ છે આપણે નેક્સ્ટ સેક્શનમાં જોઈશું. થેન્ક યુ.